Look here. Monumental things went down Sunday. It was the season finale of The Last of Us, and people who never got a chance to play the game back in 2013, or even when they re-released it, got a chance to witness why us PlayStation people were so ecstatic over this show.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this show has been a ride of epic proportions, roller coaster of emotions, glass cakes of emotions. Shouts out to Ron Burgundy. And we here to talk about episode 9. We're here to kind of talk about the show as a whole. And Boss and I know what happens in 2, but we're
Mm-hmm.
here to try to non-spoil what we like to see in season 2 and beyond.
Mm-hmm.
We are the Less Than Stealthy Ninjas. Scootaloo, also known as Scooter Ray. We have locked behind DLC, Aranya Gorho and Miss.
What up?
And we have Cosmic King Cordy,
Yes,
Boss
sir.
down there at the bottom. Boss, we're gonna let the DLC take care of it today. Take care of the start.
Okay.
Aranya,
You?
what was your thoughts and feelings, and how did episode 9 make you feel as a whole? Like what was your thoughts and feelings?
I really liked episode 9. It was very emotional. Very emotional. As a natural born lady, I have a dad, and my dad cares about me a lot. Duh. Shout out to you, daddy. And and the relationship between, I almost called him Diego. What's happening? It's been a long day at work. And
Joel.
Ellie, it's been a long day at work, okay?
Like Diego and Ellie.
That would be a whole different game if
Right?
he was Diego.
Diego.
A whole different game. Okay, but I'm sorry, God.
So anyway, the relationship between Joel and Ellie and the love there is beautiful. It's beautiful. And shut up, King Cordy. So it's beautiful. It's lovely. I totally agree with Joel.
Well, hold on.
No, I'm not gonna
We're
go
gonna.
into
Okay.
no, I was saying, I was gonna say something about the emotion that's there when you care
Yeah.
about somebody. Like,
So
what would you do?
okay. Now, so for the ones who watched the episode, I hope you're watching this if you've seen the episode.
Right.
But we were treated, even for us video game players, we were treated to Ellie's birth. Shout outs to Ashley Johnson, who's the voice of Ellie in Last of Us 1 and 2. She gives birth to Ellie. And she gives birth while being attacked by almost soon to be clicker.
Look, let's just point out in that scene how the adrenaline was so high in her while she was being attacked, she popped that baby out without even noticing.
Right.
I know women who have given birth. That is just
right?
That's something you remember. So she looked down like, wait, there's a baby.
and we find out in the course of the attack, she was scratched, right?
Bit.
She was bit. So now it's insinuating that Ellie had it since birth.
Here's the thing that I'm confused about, though. In this show, can y'all hear me?
A little bit. You're a little low.
I don't know why. In this show, it seems like a lot of people get magically bit. Like you never see them get bit, but then they're like, hold up, you're this, and now it has teeth marks in it.
I think that's the horrifying part of it. Because, in other zombie media, you always see the people get bit.
Right.
Every last one, even the ones that hide it and all that shit. It's like, I think it hits more and more emotionally when you just where you thought you survived and you fought off the threat, and then you check yourself, and the adrenaline of the moment, you don't feel anything, and then you notice a wound, and it's just
Mhm.
like that. That'll pull the soul out of anybody. Like,
I'm just
like
saying, so it
Because
don't hurt when they get bit. Like, is it like, you know how sometimes you can get a paper cut and you don't know it's cut until lemon juice hit it?
well, and that's what I'm about to say. It's probably tying to what Boss said. The adrenaline running high because you fending off this infected, and then when you kind of get the rest of who is dead, then you look, man, come on, fam.
right. Plus, like, her in special circumstances, she was giving birth, so there was
Yeah.
a different level of pain happening in
Yes.
relation to a bite. So,
Yes. Yes.
but
But yeah,
yeah,
you like, come on, man. I mean, we saw with episode 8, it was like, hey, Ellie, your arm. Come on, fam. And then Riley looks up, come on, fam. Like, when did he bite me there? Like,
Right.
when did he bite me?
I don't know. It just makes me feel weird because it's like these cordyceps are human before they turn into mushroom people. And
Yes.
flat teeth are a thing for humans. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So if they were
mm-hmm.
like pointy, sharp teeth, I could see them piercing the skin and it being kind of an unaware thing. But they're still flat teeth. And even, I mean, I've been in fights before. I know when
Mhm.
I'm injured.
Yeah.
I know when I'm injured. When I'm like, huh, and I'm swinging, and it's your adrenaline is high. I know if my arm is being folded up. I know if somebody pokes me with a stick. I know. So
Now
that's
hold it up.
I'm just saying.
But yeah, so and then of course typical TV show, movie, media entertainment. She gives birth, they show up.
Of course.
Yeah, like
So
a couple hours later. Oh
so
man.
she gives birth. She cuts the umbilical cord. She has baby Ellie in her arms. Marlene and insert goon shows up, and
Matthew.
huh?
We'll call him Matthew.
Insert goon, like I said.
Matthew.
Uh,
Maddie.
uh, Marlene and insert goon shows up, and she's like, "Hey, her name is Ellie. Take care of her, but you also got to kill me, fam."
And she was like, no, like, how long have we known each other? Since childhood. And that
Exactly.
puts
That's why
in
you got to kill me,
perspective,
fam.
because that was alluded to,
Yes.
never said. And it wasn't
Yes.
even alluded to that strongly in the first game.
At
Like,
all.
basically, Marlene implied, I knew your mother.
And
This
that's it.
just flat that's it. Like, basically, this was just like, yeah, we grew up together. And so, and this one gives more, it gives more context, and you get more emotion towards Marlene and her situation, because she raised her best friend's baby that
Now,
she knew since birth. Well,
now
since
later on in
childhood.
this conversation, Aranya and I had a good back and forth about that whole situation you just talked about, boss.
Yes, we
Mhm.
did.
Also, the jacket that Ellie was wrapped up in, wasn't that the jacket she wore in 2? Or in 1? In 2, right? The green jacket?
That was in 2.
Yeah. So the jacket she was wrapped up in birth was a jacket she wore in 2. So that was another little nod to and the house she gave birth in,
Was a nod to 2.
because that's the farmhouse Ellie resides in.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so now we move on to the present, and we see clearly Ellie has not gotten over what she went through.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Aranya,
Yep.
if you went through something traumatic as that, and you basically had to move on to the next set piece, would you be feeling the same way Ellie was feeling? Like,
Yeah, I'm not in the mood to have no conversation, but at the same time, and I'm saying this from an adult standpoint because I'm not a little kid, I would
mhm.
have been like, hey, you know what? You gonna have to give me a minute, bro. Like you, I mean, because they never said that they discussed like what happened or whatever. But like for me, I mean, I was always trained as shout out to you, Tina. I was always trained when something happened, you talk about what's going on. So for me, I would have been like, do you know what just happened? This dude was trying to take me as his bitch bride. He had me fucked up and I had to mash his head in. And now I'm fucked up because I ain't never had to mash nobody head in. And I was scared and blah, 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 because she's bottling those feelings and
Yes.
she's not really letting them out. And so it's starting to bubble over and be kind of, making her really quiet. And then Joel is acting like he's never acted in the whole show. And he's all,
He is back 20 years prior. Like
Don't
he
you
got his
don't you
child
love
again.
how they was a solar opposite in that moment?
yes,
Ellie was the stoic crier one, while Joel was the chatty Cathy.
right. He talking about hiking with
He talking about playing. Was it Boggle? What was that shit
Yeah,
game he
Boggle.
pulled up?
Yeah, didn't nobody ever play Boggle.
He
Boggle.
was talking about playing Boggle, teaching her how to play the guitar, which he did.
Mhm.
All this stuff. Like he was very chatty.
Yeah, he was worked up talking about them going hiking.
Talking about she wasn't ladylike. but
But Ellie did agree. She did
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah, she already know how it is. You know what I'm saying? She's like, here I am. This is me.
See, that's what we call how Lil Wayne got the lighter flick. Cosmic Boss got the ice cubes. There you go. But yeah, so we're moving on, we're moving through, and like I said, you clearly see something's wrong with Ellie. You clearly see she's not 100%, she's not well, and they're going through this building, and one of the other moments that I was waiting for to see if they was going to put it in the show as well. Ellie was like, "Oh shit, Joe, you got to come up and see this."
Mm-hmm.
And Joe gets up there and he's like, "Ellie, girl, slow down. What is happening?" And then now, I know the show gave us the quote unquote happy episode with Frank and Bill, but when you play the game, this is the only happy moment
The only one.
have in the game.
The only one.
Oh,
The
wow.
only happy moment you have in the game was when you see the giraffes.
And it's played out a little bit differently. It's played out the exact same, except in the game, you see the giraffe or something moving through the wall through tiny holes, but you can't make out what it is. And Ellie is just rushing through, and you're just like, what the hell is out there? Like, because you've been through shit at this point in the game.
Right.
And you get there, and it's just like that. There's a giraffe there. It's beautiful music. You feed it. You look out. The herd is out there, and it's just like, when is it gonna drop? When's
Right.
when's it gonna drop? Like, what's happening? Is it gonna bite me? What's it gonna do? Is it was it gonna split its neck open? Just cordyceps neck? Like you're expecting
something because once again, you have no happy moments up until this.
But and the scene plays out like the game. It gives you this full on, just like beautiful butterfly on a flower moment, and it's just they have that conversation, and you move on, and it's like, what?
Right.
And come to find out, we know now, and we didn't know immediately at that point. It was setting you up for the okie doke that came after. It was like, here, let me dial you back a little bit, and then I'm just gonna give you this Tyson uppercut to your teeth, just right.
But then they get attacked. Joel wakes up in a cell. He's like, "Hey, yo, what is happening?"
He have the damage by now? He done got hit in the head and stuff so much. I think he should have the damage.
Look. Maybe he did have the damage.
Got hard heads.
Maybe Maybe he did have the damage because we about to get to his decision. So Marlene and Goon 1 and Goon 2. If y'all want to give them names, we can give them names. But Marlene and her two goons, and they're like, Joe, we didn't know it was you. My bad. We was just, trying to hold it down. And he's like, I love Joe's first response. Where's Ellie?
Right. He don't give a
Where's
fuck
Ellie?
what you talking about? You chatting shit at this point. I don't give a fuck about what you talking about.
And then now, the culmination of the game, like Boss say, we get this Tyson uppercut to the teeth. She's like, hey, in order for us to properly try to find a cure, she gotta die.
Say what now?
Now,
right.
in the game, once again, we've been playing this. I'm trying to travel back to 2013.
Mm-hmm.
In the game, we're playing this, and pardon? Like, fuck you mean?
Like he says it word for word, but cordyceps grows around the brain. And it's just like, and then you come to realize everything you fought had its head was infected the most. Yep. And so you get like, wait. And it's just like, damn.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, man.
And they was like, Joe, we appreciate you. We can give you this ham sandwich on the way out, but you did your job. Now, before we get to that part, Araya and I was having a conversation yesterday because she was saying, kind of like what you said, boss. It's very put out there on the show. Marlene and Ellie's mom, which I forgot what they said her name was.
Anna were
besties.
Mm-hmm.
She's willing to, in a sense, sacrifice her niece.
Her goddaughter.
Mm-hmm.
Without a hesitation. She was willing to sacrifice her niece for a possible cure.
Possible.
Not possible.
Well, I'm just saying, at the time, possible cure.
Mm-hmm.
Possible cure that she's willing to sacrifice her niece. Now, boss, you have nephews and you have actual sisters.
Mm-hmm.
Would you be willing to sacrifice one of your nephews?
I have a favorite.
The little one. Don't try me. Don't try me. The
little one. So, will you be willing to sacrifice the little one for a possible cure?
All right. So, are we getting into we're into Marlene's reasoning, or are we into Joel's decision?
Joel's decision. Well, a little bit of both.
Okay. It is the whole thing is a very extremely morally gray situation. Extremely. Like, you can look at it from every side and each side has a point. Joel's like, no, we can't. She's 14. You can't kill her. Can't let that happen. Marlene is like, yeah, she's my niece. I've known her longer than you. We got to do what's good for humanity. That's the same thing with her and the Firefly's position. We have to do what's right for humanity. We have a doctor who has a cure if he can get this out of her. Okay. So at that point, I understand why Marlene and the Fireflies want to do it. I also understand why Joel did it. I can condemn both. I can condemn Joel and his decision. I can condemn the Fireflies and Marlene's decision.
But at this point, we only know Joel's side. And knowing what Joel and Ellie went through, now factor that in.
Knowing what Joel and Ellie went through. If you remember in the episode, and if you don't remember the game well, they pretty much said the same thing. Ellie said it. Everything we've been through, it can't be for nothing. She
That is
was
true.
ready to go, whatever it took. But Joel essentially took that choice away from her. Now, again, you can condemn what his decision was, but also see his side of it. He had
Yeah, but
just pretty much
what would
gained his
you?
immunity back. What would
What
I
would you
do?
choose? Yeah.
I'm not gonna live the rest of my life fighting these things. I'm getting a cure. I'm going the cure route.
But here's my
Aranya?
question. Okay, here's my
Okay.
question about this cure, though. And we
Uh-huh.
kind of touched on this yesterday, Stu. So, all right, we talk about the yucky ones, the ones with the lumpiest of heads, right? So when you
Yep.
say a cure, okay, so Ellie is in fact immune. And from what I got from what they were saying, if this is a cure, that means that I can give it to you, I can give it to boss, I can give it to whomever, and I can
Mhm.
say, if this person gets bit, it's just like if they got bit by a raccoon, it's just like, oh darn, I'm gonna heal. That does not mean they're not gonna tear you up still. And it doesn't say that, okay, if we take these gross, yucky cordies out of these people's brains, that's gonna do anything. Like, I
Right.
just don't feel like, for me, if I'm talking about sacrificing one of my godchildren or children that are close to me, you're gonna have to show me how this works, because right now there's 50,000 people and there's 200 million of the King Cordis around at different stages. You
No. You're
can't
right.
cure all of them.
You got it right from the way the Marlene worded it, that the
Now,
doctor said it would work.
now this is
So
the part I left out from you yesterday, Aranya. While so of course Joe took the route of fuck that, I'm getting Ellie. He starts shooting up the hospital.
mhm.
If you explore, you find a recording. And there's a recording between Marlene and the doctor talking, and he is sure.
He is damn sure
He is
it,
100% sure,
it would cure.
because he was like, we've never seen nothing like this before. The way it's mutated in her, this has to work.
Essentially, he has years of research on this. He is 100% sure it would work. Now, as you stated, the way you heard Marlene worded what the doctor said is those that are not infected, the way it would work is the cordyceps would see it or interact with you, and it would basically be like it's just another cordyceps. You wouldn't be attacked or like infected or anything like that. But everybody else that's already fucked up, they're gone. So basically, you're just protecting what's left instead of
AKA,
just,
AKA The Last of Us.
Of course.
essentially.
I
Right.
get it. I'm just saying, like, for me personally, this is the thing, right? And I'm gonna use Kane Cordy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
When Kane Cordy says, "Hey y'all, this is the best pizza I've ever had," we generally are like, all right, we're gonna try this pizza. You know what I'm saying? But
Uh-huh.
there is a percentage chance that I'm not gonna like that pizza, because you are human and humans err sometimes.
They
And so
do.
this doctor, like, okay, and I'm just saying this off of, I'll use Brandon. If I say, all right, I'm going to give up my godson for this cure, there's going to be a percent chance that this fucking doctor, the only doctor that is left, we can't run this across nobody else. You can't get second opinions, things that we've all done. If this doesn't work, then I'm going to still have to kill everybody. Everybody's going to have to die, because now I'm raged. And at the end of the day, like I was telling Scoot, my dad always says that death is for the living, not for the dead. My godson is gone, but I've already lost so much. I'm at a breaking point because I'm still alive. And it's
Mm-hmm.
my fault. I hand delivered this child, a child. I have fought everything I could to try to keep her alive. For them to kill her, you got me fucked up. I'm just saying. Let's get on. I'm just saying.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, boss, because once again, I'm going back 10 years.
Uh-huh.
Wasn't there also another document you find where they said that they thought they tried this before and it didn't work?
You find papers
Okay.
where they found evolutions of not evolutions. I want to say evolutions, but different versions of the cordyceps, and how some people went past the the time frame of like where the infection takes you, but it wasn't long. So like because in that one it's the spores, and so like they were like some people were exposed, like some people were getting exposed to spores, but they were not getting infected for just a little bit longer than it normally used to take. So, but like it wasn't a lot of people. Like Joel said, they found like was it dozens of others? It wasn't a lot. So it was still a small handful of people that like had a resistance, but not a but yeah.
For you gentlemen who played the game.
Mm-hmm.
So they were saying that in Ellie, in essence, it's kind of like, oh, they recognize game or whatever. But I'm trying to think of a time like, and maybe it wasn't as obvious of a time where a cordyceps ran up on her and was like, oh man, what's up, fam? And then was like, I'm gonna go around you, because they made sure to say that she could still get torn apart by these things.
Yes.
Yes.
So I feel like I'm the person who gets the vaccine, and they gonna still tear me apart. Even if
That's the
thing. So in the game, just like what you said, if them infected ran up on Joel, they ran up on Ellie.
Yes. And like Tess said it in episode 2. It like you may be immune, but it does not. You're not immune from getting torn apart. She said that word for word in the game. So, like, you may get bit and nothing happens, but if they decide to just rip you open, that ain't gonna help you. So
in essence, you're still fighting them. Like, okay, you're immune. That's great. But yet and still, if one of them with the extra lumpy face is like, mash, because they can't think, they gonna still mash you and you still dead. But you sacrifice this girl when actually, technologically speaking, evolution-wise, so there were some people at one point that maybe it took them a little longer to change or whatever. My point yesterday was that I wouldn't want to sacrifice a kid, and then 5-10 years down the line, people are naturally immune, and a lot of those start dying out, because a lot of times in zombie movies, you'll notice that if it's 50,000 humans left and there's 500 million zombies, they're gonna eventually start to starve to death because there's nothing to eat.
28 days later.
There you go. Remember he was emaciated. It was half of him, and he was like,
he was laying on that hill in the sun, like I need food.
And then kind of like what you were saying with the scientific route, although he is sure, once again, you still just don't know.
Okay.
But yes, in the game, we automatically are chosen the Joel route, which was we killing up everybody in this. And trust and believe, you fought way more people than in that show.
You fought it. Look, there was about 10 folk there. Man, look, there was about 100 in that hospital that we had to fight through. Like,
put it this way, I died a few times because you fought that many people.
Damn.
And here's the thing:
fought a lot of people.
Stealth at that point, because you can stealth around them a little bit.
A little bit.
If but these people at this point in the game have much better hearing, much deadlier weapons. Like there are weapons in this hospital that they have you didn't see at all
until this part.
Until this part. No. They all have Call of Duty, Modern Warfare M4s with sights, lasers,
and you sitting here with a rifle.
Right, a rifle, a shiv you made out of broken glass, and a brick.
Nope. Ain't in the brick.
You Captain Caveman versus a whole bunch of Avengers at this point.
Oh no.
So, I mean, wouldn't a good reference to make y'all looking like Adam Driver in 65?
Oh yeah.
It is, man.
But yeah, so now we get to the part where he goes into the operation room and he's like, unhook her. Get her, hey, take that shit off of her.
Mm-hmm.
And then the main doctor with the scalpel, I can't let you do this. And just like in the game, you done that man.
Right.
No.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing. In the game, Aranya, he does pick up that scalpel. Nobody in the room moves towards you. They stand still. He's like, I can't let you take her. You try to get over there, he just swipes at you. He can't kill you. He can't kill you. But the only way to move forward is you have to kill him. You shoot him in the foot, he dies. You shoot him in the arm, he dies. Boss. Like it is.
Boss.
Yeah. Now, what I told her run you too.
Wait, Scoop. Boss.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go back. You ready?
Okay, my bad. Go ahead.
Okay. Let's go back to Until Dawn.
Okay. Oh Lord.
Say it. All right, continue.
Okay. For the reference, I've only known this story. If you played Until Dawn, at the very beginning, there's a scene where you got a BB gun and you can shoot a squirrel. And the game tells you might not want to shoot everything.
Literally, seconds before.
Well, apparently our sweet Aranya shot the squirrel.
In the head.
In the face.
Now, in the game, you can spare the other two nurses. Or you can kill them. I spared them.
I didn't shoot them. Yeah, correct.
Yeah,
I
spared the other two nurses.
I shot the doctor.
Everybody dying.
So just like if you choose that route in the game, the other two nurses are left alive. He holding Ellie, and you see the last ditch effort. Marlene is like, Joe, this can still be rectified. All you have to do is just let her go, and you go on about your merry way. And tell me why. I literally quoted the exact same thing because that was one of the most powerful quotes. Because he did shoot her in the gut. Then he walks over to her. She was like, Joe, just let me live.
And he says the same line. You'd only keep coming after her. Wow. And it was just like, and it played out exactly like it did in the game. It showed him driving off and then it pans to her in the back seat waking up. And it's like, how'd this come about? And then it showed it and it's like, dang, what? What did they? And then he like, they found dozens of others just like you. What did he say? Like, wait a minute now. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? What I just did? You gonna lie to that baby? Yep. You gonna lie to that baby?
Now, as a big proponent of the game, and y'all heard me say it here a couple of times, I genuinely wanted the show to end like the game, and it did. You see them taking their little walk, you see them kind of overlooking Jackson, and then Ellie was like, Joe, is what you saying the truth? Like, did what really happen? And Joe was like, yeah, like what you like, what you mean? And she was like, Joe,
like, I swear.
She was like, Joe, swear to me everything you said is the truth. And he goes, yep.
And he's quiet for like 3 seconds and he says, I swear. And it lingers on him for like 3 more, and then pans to her. And you see her do that whole thinking in her head. And you in the game, you see in her eyes, she knows he's lying.
Yeah.
And then she goes, okay. And then it fades to black.
And that's where the game ends. Like
now, in 2013, when I played that, I gasped. I was like,
right. Like when she said okay and left it, I was like,
now, in 2023, seeing it in live action,
same reaction. Like I was like, let me tell you something. I was certain they were gonna dumb it down. I was like, they gonna not keep that same ending. No. This
All right.
episode was probably the most game accurate episode
Shot
in
for
the
shot.
whole show.
But that's what that
Other-
man said at the
other-
featurette thing.
Other than the beginning, shot for shot.
Right. Like Aranya said, the showrunner, Craig, he was like, yeah, the ending was just so good, like we didn't change anything.
All right, so
like,
Aranya, well, hold on. Before we get to Aranya, what was your thoughts of the ending and all of that?
I mean, like I said, I get it. I mean, I agree with Boss to a certain extent, not when it comes to science, but when it comes to the fact that, yes, you can technically hold either one accountable and say, hey, you wrong. Joel was being selfish. He was being selfish. However, so was Meredith. What's her name?
Marlene.
But at the end of the day, I feel like also Marlene was holding out hope for this quote unquote cure. That's not really a cure. It's just kind of a band-aid to see if we can kind of make it without necessarily getting mauled to death. And it's like, well, so I mean, in my humblest of opinions, like between the two of them, can we do some tests on her blood? Like, you know what I'm saying? Do we have to kill her? Can we do some tests on her blood? Like, you a smart doctor. You came up with all this on your own the last, I don't know how many years. Is there a happy medium where we don't kill the child, but we could still, I mean, again, I don't feel like it's saving humanity. It's just, hey, if you get just casually bit, you're not going to turn, but you still may get tore apart or somebody may go crazy and shoot you in the face.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, being a person and a human being, I side with Joel, of course, because I couldn't turn in a kid and be like, oh, you gonna kill her? Bet. Oh, my stuff at the gate. All right, you gonna give me the bag? Cool. Now I get to keep her knife forever. Might as well stab yourself in the head. He already tried to, unalive himself.
And see, that's the reason why I would side with Joel, because if I'm taking it from just me delivering her to them, fine. If I'm going to the fact of what we went through escaping out the QZ zone. We went through losing tests. We went through, well, in this case, the whole Frank situation. We went through Sam and Henry. We went through reuniting with your brother. She went through this whole David situation, which unfortunately I couldn't be there for her because I was on my deathbed. We went through all of this, fought bloaters, fought clickers, fought regular infected, fought raiders, just for me to be like, all right, y'all can go kill her. I couldn't do it.
And at the end of the day, how many times did Joel tell Ellie to just go and she did not leave him? Just go, just go. Like, just leave me. And she was still right there, like, nope, I'm gonna hand you this knife, I'm gonna put it in your hands. And I'm gonna move this furniture and I'm gonna draw them away. So, like, honestly, I mean, it's the same thing, just switch roles.
Because two options will have to happen. Either y'all gonna kill me right there, or I'm killing all of y'all.
Right.
Because there's no way I could just leave the hospital and just leave knowing that this person I went through this great adventure with is being killed in the name of science.
Right. Nah. And my thing is, hold up. So y'all finna make the cure, but you finna put me out on the road? Where my shot? No, you talking about my bag out there. No, that's not what we're doing.
And then, not only that, I love Marlene's, I hate to be in debt with you. What kind of debt you gonna be into me with this?
Right.
Let's just say I go the route where I deliver Ellie and it'd be like, all right, cool, bet. What favors you owe me?
Right.
Because she said it herself. We didn't went through all that we went through. I lost damn near every man I got.
Right. And it's just him and Ellie, and they done made it through. Girl, you can't do nothing for me. Unless it's on your knees. You feel me? Like, shut up.
Hey, yo! Hey!
What I said. Said what I said. Said what I said.
Oh.
So you want pandemic vagina?
I'm just saying.
She
But
want
that's
that
the only
pandussy. That's what she
That's the
want.
only favor. I'm just saying. That's the only favor because
I'm
his
dead.
brother got a whole.
I'm dead.
I'm just saying he don't need no protection. His brother got a whole community where he can get medicine. He can get hoes over there if he want to. So what does she have to offer that's so great? Skullduggery. That's what I'm saying. Say what I said. Yep.
Not the skullduggery.
Skullduggery. Oh.
All right. Well, all right. So overall, amazing fucking show. Beautiful fucking show. I definitely couldn't experience it again, even though I said I wanted to play the game again. I couldn't do it a third time. Because if I was going through damn near the same emotions I went through watching the show, I know me replaying it, them emotions gonna be worse. So I think I'm gonna let Last of Us be. But automatically, this show gets a 10 out of 10 for me. Like, I mean, I gave the game 10 out of 10, so automatically the show gets a 10 out of 10. Now, Boss and Aranya, we've seen many adaptations of things. One complaint I did hear, or some complaints I heard, that they thought it was too close, too 1-for-1 with the game. Do you think that helped or hurt that?
Helped.
I don't know the difference because again, with the game, I didn't play. So
Well, I'm talking about just like any adaptation, like any video game to movie, or you know how sometimes when they make adaptations, they always change something.
Well, I think the base of the goodness of the movie would have to do with the strength of the story in the game. And like that man said in the featurette, you know, The Last of Us, if from what I've seen and what y'all have said, this storyline is an amazing storyline. It's
and
not
it came out of nowhere in 2013.
Yeah, it's not a no shade because we know who my favorites are, but it's not a Mario Save the Princess type shit. It's a deeper story that has layers and is multifaceted. So when you have a strong story to build, then staying kind of close to that story when you do a movie or an adaptation is probably going to be better versus changing it when everybody loved the story in the beginning. When you change it too much, then it's going to be like somebody ready to swing on you and they're going to be like, it sucks. You know, so
I mean, even going back and watching the Uncharted movie, I was kind of like, that ain't how they met.
No, not at all. Here's the thing. Of the video game adaptations that I have seen, it is best that they kept to the story because it is one of gaming's all-time greatest stories.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like you could even go back and look at the RPGs and all those the genre that was known for good stories. Last of Us still stands head and shoulders above a lot of them.
Yeah.
And it is memorable. If you play through it, you remember the game and the story.
Yes.
So it is made better because they stuck to the story, they stuck to the adaptation, and it is one of the best adaptations I've ever seen.
I mean, to even give a better thing, because Aranya, I don't think you played the Uncharted games, right?
I tried, didn't work out.
Okay. Well, to even make it better, when we all watched Mortal Kombat and they said, "Hey, this is Cole Young," who?
Right.
Who this? Who this? Like descendant of Scorpion. Who?
Who's?
Who? I know Scorpion's child. That ain't him.
Like who's? Who is Cole Young?
And like he is a whole Caucasian Asian man named Cole Young. Like he has the name of a creator character. Like that is just It made no sense. He had the power of 1, 2. Like, come on.
Yes, he did. So I think they did I think that's the best route they could have went by making it 1-for-1. And then hell, those little tidbits they threw in with the whole news show back in the 60s, the doctor in Jakarta, the whole Anna giving birth to Ellie, all those little nuances they threw in enhanced it, because once again, a lot of that stuff we was left in the dark in the game.
But that's the thing. I feel like whoever that man is, Scott, he was looking at it from an aspect that I feel a lot of people miss. If you didn't play the game, what questions would you have? If you didn't play the game, what questions did you have? So that way you cover to make a full story that's cohesive, instead of leaving them gaps and then people sit up and write articles about it, how it's stupid, and you get a 5 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Only because it just came to me. One of the nurses is the voice actor to Dina. Not Dina, sorry, Abby.
Abby in Last of Us Part 2.
Which we will meet in 2, but we'll discuss 2 in a bit.
Laura Bailey, her name.
Yes, thank you. Laura Bailey. She was one of the nurses who's the voice actress to Abby in 2. So a lot of little fillers they do like that.
Who should have been shot down.
You would have shot
everybody. Once again, you could kill him. You could kill him, yes.
Everybody's gone. No witnesses. Because my thing is, this is what I'm thinking. And y'all can shame me if you want to, but y'all know I'm who I am. So if I'm going to lie to Ellie, I got it in my head. All right, I'm going to tell her that they got attacked, blah, blah, blah. If you left anybody alive without a headshot with their face with a bullet in their cheek, then somebody could go back and say, oh yeah, he came in here, he went crazy, he took her and they left. And even though it's Telegram type talking, word will still get around. So if you don't want nobody to know what's going on, then you need to make sure there are no witnesses. I'm sorry, everyone kneel and say prayers to whoever you pray to, and I'm going to blast you in the head. The end. I was trying to say that.
Jesus,
what kind of John Wick villainy are you doing?
Y'all know I'm crazy. I don't know why you want to play. Y'all know I'm crazy.
She said, walk into everybody on your knees. Like,
that's right. Get down there. Pray to whoever you need. I'll give you a minute. All right, that's plenty. Bow, bow, bow.
Wait a minute.
We're done. Just saying. If you gonna cover your tracks, cover your shit.
I mean, in the words of Falcon, you're not wrong.
You're out of line. Like,
you're out of line.
You're out of line, but you're not wrong.
But you're not wrong.
Oh man.
But all right. So now they did come out and say Last of Us 2 will be told across multiple seasons, which
they said
100%. Yeah.
Okay, that's all I needed. That's all
so
I needed.
They did say for sure Last of Us 2 will be told across multiple seasons.
And I also saw that they not changing nothing about the story.
Now, they said Bella Ramsey, they said that unless she wants to stop being Ellie, she will be Ellie for season 2. They said unless she wants to walk away from the show, she will be our Ellie in season 2.
Nice.
Now we'll let Aranya talk. What do you expect in the next installment of The Last of Us?
Or what would you like to see?
Or what would you like to see?
I guess I would like to see them go back to the settlement with what's his name, Will?
Tommy.
Did you call him Will?
Will.
Yeah. And then,
Will and Diego, the brothers of The Last of Us.
You know what's funny? Funny how she never got Ellie's name wrong.
Right.
Hey, it is what it is.
Will and Diego, Ellie, and Merle.
Look, we had Will, We had Diego. She called Marlene. What she called Marlene earlier?
Meredith.
Meredith.
Whatever. Y'all leave me alone. I would like to see them kind of be like, this cool staying here, but this not cut out for us. So, they want to go find their own place to live and hold up,
Mhm.
And go on an adventure. I don't know where, because again, I'm so lost with where everything is. But, go down south a little bit and run into some more of the big one that came out the ground.
Okay.
What is it called?
The bloaters.
Yeah,
Bloaters.
the bloaters. Run into some more of them, run into some more of a few people, maybe get a little band together. I was really hoping that the black kids, I'm not even going to do this because I can't remember their names, but I was really hoping.
Sam and Henry.
Sam and
Okay.
Henry.
I was about to call him Craig. Anyway, Craig and Steve. So I was really hoping that they were going to band together and start making like a group of survivors, and they could start their own little town and their own little settlement. That's what I would like to see. Again, I didn't play the game, so I don't know, but that's what I would like to see. Them pick up some more Craig and Steves and some other people too, because there's other people out there that are probably like them. They're surviving, but it will be better in numbers.
And Scoop. Because we know with season 2, if they are splitting it into 2 seasons, we know where season 2 is going in.
I'm gonna just give you one spoiler of season 2.
Okay.
We meet something way worse than the bloater.
Yay!
Way worse.
Yay!
And Aranya, let me just
go ahead, boss. Go ahead.
We say bloater. You know that this bloater's been around a long time.
Right.
What if I told you the thing that is meaner was at ground zero?
Ooh.
So wherever the infection started, wherever they started popping up, the first infected.
Now.
So,
not only that, on a scale from 1 to 10, where do you see the bloater?
Oh,
me?
No, I'm talking to Aranya.
I mean, I don't know, because I was looking at the lady who attacked Anna, and she had a partial yucky face. So I'm like, okay, so if we started saying 1 is the most recent, I would put that lady at maybe a 4.
Okay.
So,
I mean, a bloater would have to be up there at 8 or 9, and I just leave the top spots because I don't know what else, know.
If you're putting the bloater at 8 or 9, what you meet is Godzilla.
Yay!
What you
now,
meet,
it's not as big as Godzilla.
No, he's not.
No.
But when
the
you
threat
meet
level,
him,
the threat level.
If you were to put him on that scale of 1 to 10, they would push the bloater down by about 4 or 5 spaces.
Oh, good.
Shit, more than that.
When I tell you that I was never scared more in that whole and here's the thing. The stalkers to this day make my blood boil. And
now that's another type of infected you meet. The stalkers. They're stealthy.
They like to hide and hunt you.
All I think about is, what is that? The liquor from Resident Evil? I don't like that.
Here, when you meet the stalkers, you see them, they run from you. Yes. And then you see them at a distance, they'll go like this. Here's like a cabinet, they'll go like, and then they'll get back behind it and flank you, come around a way you ain't seeing. And it's don't do that shit.
Now, another tease they kind of made, something you meet. Remember in episode 1, that one that was melted to the wall?
Yeah.
In the part 2, some of them ain't dead.
No, they just there till you walk by.
Yuck.
Like the spiders in the
right off that wall.
Hey, no.
Yeah.
No. Yuck. We will never refer to those. Yuck.
Now, we're not gonna give any story beats because yeah. But as far as some of the infected you meet, you do meet new characters, of course, because
a whole lot of them.
What was the time gap? I can't remember. What was the time gap between
5 years?
5 years? Okay, so it's a 5 year difference.
Oh, and see, in my head, when I said they go to the village and they stay and decide to leave, I said 2 or 3 years. I just didn't say it out loud, but that's what I said in my head.
So
So that's cool.
just to give you to it, they are living in Jackson.
They are
Okay.
When we
living
see
there.
them
Yeah.
again.
Like full on set up in the community.
Yeah.
Pillars, if you will.
Yeah, pillars of the community. But now, for me personally, the one thing they have to get right, they have to pick the perfect Abby.
They do. I will say this too. They have to pick the perfect Abby, the perfect Lev, in order. The perfect Abby,
True.
the perfect Lev, the perfect Yara.
Now, those are all characters you meet in the game as well.
I hate
and
going out.
oh, Dina, because I didn't get and Dina too. I didn't get a good look at old girl. Well, she was far away in that episode when they arrived in
she was
Jackson.
far away. Yeah.
So like they could presumably hire the girl that did the capture for her in the game.
True.
So like, you know, if they wanted to go that route like they did with Marlene. So, you know, but yeah, they gotta get Abby right. So
yes. So to give another little story beat, Abby is another character you play with.
yes.
Oh.
And she's the reason why season 2 will be broken up. Sorry, she's the reason why the second game will be broken up into multiple seasons, because you play with Abby and you play with Ellie, and they all have their each grand adventures.
Right. Like half the game is Abby, half is Ellie. And so yeah, it is oh man. And just let y'all know, I hope in season 2 we get the whistling in the forest, because
man, fuck them.
People are gonna be
fuck them.
Look, Aranya, let me say this. Let me say it like this. Aranya, let's just say you by yourself.
Okay.
You marching through this dilapidated city of Seattle, and it's overgrown. It's apocalypse. You know it. It's been raining, still a little bit sprinkling. You alone in this city. You hear nothing. Then all of a sudden you hear whistling.
Nope.
Human whistling.
No.
And I don't mean like no Kill Bill whistling either, like somebody humming a tune. I mean like signal whistling.
Nope.
Man, I tell you, that whole thing is scary.
Fuck them.
Oh,
fuck them.
They're gonna be in season 2. The whistling people, as you speak.
The whistling people. The Seraphites, as their name.
Another thing, you meet 2 new factions. So essentially, kind of what you just said about leave no witnesses, Fireflies are gone.
Yeah, they're gone. They're disbanded.
They're gone. After Joel's rampage, they're gone.
They was like, nah, fuck this.
So you meet the WLF, the Washington Liberation Front, and you meet the Seraphites.
Mm-hmm.
And the Seraphites, what Boss is saying, communicate by whistling.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
And they don't use guns. They use bows and arrows and knives.
Oh,
the
no.
wolves use hunting dogs, rifles, military equipment, and bombs. So it's polar opposites.
No.
But when I tell you, the Seraphites are scary. Oh.
And to kind of peel back a little curtain, Abby is part of the Washington Liberation Front.
Mm-hmm.
They name long. Is it something short for it?
Wolves.
Oh, that's what that is. Well, y'all was saying wolves, but you didn't spell it out for me.
WLF, wolves.
Yeah.
Wait.
Washington Liberation Front, WLF, but they call them wolves.
Because their symbol is a wolf. So
first of all, I'm sitting up here Washington over.
You over here trying to do the math with letters, and you need to stop.
Exactly. Y'all just gonna let me do this shit? Rude.
You trying to carry the 8, and you just need to leave it alone.
Right.
But yeah,
I don't think we can say much more. That there was a third faction. You meet the Rattlers.
No. We'll say that because that's way much later.
That's much later. But
Washington Liberation Front, aka the Wolves, and the Seraphites, aka the Scars.
The Scars.
And yes, it's season 2. So one thing about season 2 than season 1, season 2 is way much bigger scale.
Bigger and far bigger.
Because the beauty of season 2, the infected are just the set piece. They're the backdrop.
Mm-hmm.
It's more a human element you deal with in 2.
Now when the infected come,
they come.
They come. But once those parts happen, it's the people you got to worry about.
It's the people.
Y'all saying that at the beginning.
Yeah. Last of Us 2 is more human driven than it is infected driven. But I can't wait. I don't care if HBO got to take a year or 2. That's fine.
They could do it the Game of Thrones route and come back in 3 years. I'll be fine.
Same.
I'll be fine. Like, shoot. Like, shit would like come back the same time as House of the Dragon season 2 in 2026, whatever, 25. I'm cool. I'll be cool.
All right. Aranga, you got anything you want to say before we head on out?
I really enjoyed it, and I will be looking forward to the next season.
King 40?
I cannot wait. Get Abby right, Neil. You know it. Get her right.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all for reintroducing me to something I haven't played in 10 years. And thank you, even though it still put me on that same emotional roller coaster as the game. But thank you, because I haven't felt that feeling in a while, that it was just such an emotionally draining show.
Mm-hmm.
And because it was an emotionally draining game. I thoroughly appreciate y'all virtually stayed 1-to-1 to the game, because that's what made it better. So thank you, Craig, and thank you, Neil. Thank you to Bella. Thank you to Pedro and all the other people who graced that show.
Diego, Meredith, all of them.
Will, Craig and Steve.
And Steve, man, look. MVPs right there. MVP.
Looking out, folks, you know.
But she got Ellie's name right.
That's right.
Hey, what was Ellie's best friend name?
Oh, I don't remember. Riley.
Oh, okay.
What was Joe Starter's name?
Nicole. I don't remember. She wasn't on there long enough. That's not fair.
Funny enough, Nicole is like her real name.
Right.
But it was Sarah.
Sarah.
Yeah, okay. Oh, cool.
But yeah, thank y'all again for tuning in. I know this was an extended episode because we have to wrap it all up. But thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for watching. Maybe there might be another TV show in our future that we might break down episodically. We don't know. But we got our other CCRs, We got Creed 3 in the tuck for y'all. We got Scream 6 ready for y'all. We got 65. All there for y'all's viewing pleasure. Waiting on y'all. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff.
And tell us what you think down below.
What's up?
Tell us what you think down below.
Yeah, let us know what you thought about The Last of Us. Let us know. On behalf of myself, Scooter Ray, aka Scooter Lou, Cosmic Kang Cordy Boss, and hopefully next video we unlock the DLC and we can unlock Aranya Gore Horror Miss.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Hopefully
a new challenger.
Hopefully we can unlock the Aranya DLC and we can see what she looked like. But until then, everybody, thank y'all. Love y'all.
Yes.
Peace out.
We'll see you next time, everybody.
And you know what's funny? What? She probably literally threw up the peace sign knowing damn well y'all couldn't see it. All right, y'all.
She couldn't see nothing.